Hello, Wadi and Jay Shimataji.
Jimantasi, hello, Daniel.
And hello, everybody who are looking at us. The few people who are watching our channel. I'm here with Wadi, which I met in Brazil just probably less than a month ago. So Wadi Jalil Maluf, he's from Argentina, and I will let him tell us the story of his name, which is not very common in Sahaja Yoga, but not because not too many Sahaja Yogis are from this area. So geographically speaking, at least he live in Argentina, and he will tell us the story. He get a realization in 2009, but regardless of that, I believe every Sahaja Yogi have a very interesting story, no matter when he came in Sahaja Yoga. So actually, the reason we are here together is because we meet during the puja, Shri Maha Shivaratri puja in Brazil. So that was mid-February, and for me was a tour as well. So I was quite exhausted filming. During that time, I stopped filming completely because I want to dedicate myself completely to worshiping Shri Shiva. As it's happened, um someone stay next to me. We both were quite silent and trying to be in the puja mood. And all of the sudden, the guy who was in my left side, just stand up and go. And to my surprise, he go to the Shimataji's feet, and with someone else hold the picture of Shimataji's feet for Sri Ganesha puja. And after that, do the same for Sri Devi puja. So uh, when he come back, I touch his hands, the hands who keep the picture. But after that, we have a little bit of chance to talk, and to to my surprise, because I cannot say doesn't ever happen to me, but very, very rare happens to me to have a connection with someone without too much talking. And after that was even better. So Wadi is IT person, and he work in that field in Argentina. Uh, I'm not sure. I have your address, but I forget it. Buenos Aires, I
In
suppose.
Buenos Aires, in the
Yes,
main city. Yeah, the
the
main city of Buenos Aires.
federal capital. Yes,
Exactly.
federal capital. Um, so enough with my story. I will let Wadi to tell his story. And like I ask everybody else, before you tell me how you get the realization, before you start telling us about your experience in Sahaja Yoga, and I know you have a lot of story, please let us know, Wadi, what was the so-called the trigger? What was the fact that you were attracted in spirituality? Because you don't know about Sahaja Yoga before Sahaja Yoga.
Oh,
None of us
exactly,
know.
exactly, exactly. So basically, thank you for that lovely introduction. I mean, it was, of course, a Mahashivaratri puja, so our hearts were fully uh, full with joy. Okay, so it was a very, very nice connection. In my case, I, I have two other brothers that are as well in Sahaj, and basically one of them, uh, he was he started Sahaj before me, a couple of months before me, and I could see the effects of Sahaja Yoga. I think how come he can be so calm in this in this moment in this Kali Yuga, right? So he mentioned to me about Sahaja Yoga, and I'm a very I come with a very, let's say, analytical upbringing because I studied in engineering. So he said to me, "Look, this is like you try it and see if it works. As simple as that." I say, okay. So far so good. I go to the public program, and the moment I have a realization, I think that everybody relates to that, right? When the moments when they have the realization, it was pure silence, pure peace. The moment you enter to the center, with all your brothers and sisters, you feel like home. I feel like home. I feel like this feel like home. The yogis made me feel like home. And the difference is like for some yogis like Tuilio, Eduardo, I mean, for me, is to know Shimatashi in her Nirakana form, okay? Pure devotion. Her physical aspect, comes also with with Mayas. So in my case, it was discovering Shimatashi in her Nirakana form, okay? And I could say that, of course, some of the things they take their time, but basically that was my experience. I started and I say, I can't believe it. The moment I have a realization and I didn't feel vibrations or anything. I just feel like peace, like silence, and then of course I start going back to the center. My brother started telling me about Sahaja Yoga, about Shimatashi, and it was pretty for me. It was pretty straightforward. So this is the truth. This is this is that this is it. I never did like any other. I wasn't seeking. I wasn't like sometimes the seekers. Mainly at the beginning,
That's
they have to go
exactly
through so many
that's
so
exactly
many
what I
things. I say,
yeah, that's exactly what I want to know. Do you have some seeking before? I mean,
no,
searching?
not at all.
No, not
Not
at
at
all.
all.
You don't
It
have
didn't
anything.
make any sense. I was like focused on my studies at work. I was uh, working all day, then going to the university, full right side. I was, but again, I mean, I come with a Catholic upbringing,
How old
so
are you?
but again, it was like
How old are you
uh,
in 2009 when you get the realization?
23, 23
23.
years old.
Uh,
And again, it was a whole discovery. Yeah.
Yes, but I know, I'm a curious person. That's my job. I mean, doing that, I have to be curious. If I'm not curious, it will be boring. I promise you. So, um, when I talk with you and I find your name, initially when I ask you what's your name, initially you told me Wadi, and obviously I didn't catch it. You told me it's a little bit complicated. I didn't find it complicated, Wadi, but after that, Jalil Maluf. It's not complicated, but it's not usual. So can you develop a little bit? We talk
Yes,
about
of
that,
course.
and I find it interesting, and I'm sure the people who are watching us will find it interesting because you are from Lebanese origin. Please develop that.
Yeah, basically, my grandparents were from Lebanon on my father's side, and then on my mother's side, I have Italian and Spanish blood. But then again, my mother's name was very typical from Latin America, Marcela. My dad name is Ernesto. So my mom said, let's be creative and put something that goes along with the last names, Khalil Maluf. I'm more Argentine than Messi and Maradona Dulce de Leche. Okay, so everybody, if I rarely I get the chance to meet with somebody from the Arab world, they start speaking to me in Arabic, and I say, "Hola, cómo estás?" It is so. Although I have this name that is very unique here in Latin America, it's very common in the Arab countries, right? In Lebanon as well.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I mean, I'm just maybe one of the one or two Wadis in all Argentina, right?
If I'm not mistaken, Wadi, it's something related with water, with the river, or
Yeah, yeah, it is like a river, a river that goes across two valleys. Okay, something like that. Okay,
yeah.
so you can go and try and find a very nice spiritual meaning about it. For me, it's just again just a name.
Before we started, I put to you that question, and I want you please to answer again now. So, because you are from Lebanon, and I know a little bit about Lebanon, and especially about Khalil Gibran. We talk about that, and because your grandparents immigrated, I know by that time, by the time where your grandparents immigrated, probably 100 years ago, that time was a time of immigration from the Christian Lebanese. So
Exactly,
you um, um, are from your father's side, uh, not a Muslim, but an Arabian Christian from Lebanon.
Christian.
Christian.
Exactly.
Yes.
My grandmother was like, yeah, as you said, Lebanon is one of the countries that has the most diverse uh, religions, right? They have like mostly Islam, and they have Sunnis, they have Shiite, they have Christians. So they have Kurdos, all
And
of them.
they have
Okay, but
druids.
and there is like a 30%, exactly. They have like a 30%, 40 of people that are doing Christianism. So that is more like on my grandmother's side. Um, and yeah, I mean, on my upbringing, Argentina is mainly a Catholic country. But again, until Sahaja Yoga, I didn't click anything. For me, it was okay. I was thinking to myself with my let's say analytical mentality, Jesus Christ must have been very special. So if people is talking about him after 2,000 years, okay. But then again, when I entered into Sahaja, I understood. Uh, I could understood at another level. So that was my uh, part of my journey, right?
Yeah, I used to say because I was born Christian as well in Romania a long time ago, and I lived there for 46 years. I live in a Orthodox country, and I know how it is. But after Sahaja Yoga, I used to say that I'm a better Christian now than I was before, because I understand,
For
I,
sure.
I understand Jesus Christ much better, and what he and his teachings. So. Okay, Wadi, um, you obviously are in Argentina. You told me about um, some people who help you in the beginning. Can you talk more about that? Because you talk about
Sure.
Eduardo, you talk
Of
about
course, of course.
Duilio, th- just few people I meet, and I have the chance and the joy to talk with them, and I want
Well,
you.
basically, I mean, and this is very interesting because the difference for me, and that's why I'm very thankful, is when I came into Sahaj, I found a very very strong, united collective. Okay, at the beginning, all the uncles have to build for that. Like Shimataji said, they were like starting with hippies in UK, and start to build a strong, beautiful collective as it is today. So when I entered, I really found a beautiful collective. People from Argentina are so loving, so lovely. That treat me like brother, like sister, like nephew. It was stunning. So for me, I could really see, okay, these peoples are special. Okay, it's not superficial. Uh, it's not something that again, it's not superficial. They really are like that. Okay, and with such an open heart and such love that again, I was at the moment the center was an ashram. Okay, and there were people living there, and I didn't want to leave. It was like 12 a.m. and I would just be talking with them, eating with them very late, so it was fantastic. It was very easy for me, very easy for me.
Do you know about the beginning of Sahaja Yoga in Argentina? Uh,
Yes.
can you
Shimata,
tell me
she came.
a little bit, please?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Shimata, she came to Argentina 3 times. First on a diplomatic mission accompanying Sirsipi, and then in 94 and 95. The expansion of Sahaja Yoga in Latin America, if I'm not mistaken, started first in Brazil. Okay, I think that with Uncle William going to, I think they started in Bahia or I don't remember Bahia or in Rio. Okay, and a yogi that was with Shimata at the time said, "Okay, shall we go to Argentina?" And Shimata said, "Not yet." I mean, this was I think
Yeah,
93,
that's
92.
a very I don't know the adjective, not interesting, but it's a yeah, interesting
Oh. So Shimata, yeah, I can.
information about the fact that Shimataji come to Brazil. People, like people want to ask Shimataji to come to Argentina. We don't know the divine plan, and I know they
Exactly.
try to push and to ask Shimataji, and Shimataji said, no, Argentina is not ready yet. So uh, at least that's the story. So I was wondering why,
So
but again, we never know.
we never know. We never know. So there was many things going in Argentina at the moment. With dictatorships like South America. And Shimata, she came to Argentina and she gave public programs. Shimata, she did the US did like a Ganesha Pusha
Do you know
here.
the first time when
Um,
she came to Argentina for a public program was
in
mid
94.
mid 80s? No, mid
No,
90s.
mid 1994.
94.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then she came back on 95. She was interviewed by a very renowned TV journalist, and they did like a very, very beautiful public program in a theater. And something, I mean, it was very, very beautiful. At the beginning, people were trying to enter and the capacity was full. And outside, people were like, they closed the gates and people were like, we want in, we want in. People were starting to rattle, and feel very, very agitated, no? Agitated. So I was talking with this yogi that was there, Horacio, said, okay, he talked to all of them. It was like an angry mob of people saying, if we want in, we want our realization. And he said, okay, now everybody calm down. We're going to open the doors. Everybody going to enter. And there was a lot of people. I don't remember how many. There are the videos. You can check it on Amruta. Okay, you can see in searching Amruta Argentina by country, and you will see it there. And they had a very beautiful program where the yogis were singing beautiful songs. She was telling about Sahaja Yoga and realization. And at the end, everybody was like raising their hands, saying, we feel the cool breeze, And she said, like, Argentina, I could never believe it, So it was very, very, very beautiful. Yeah. And here we are.
Yeah, I was fortunate to live something similar, not in my country because Shimataji couldn't come in the first year in Sahaja Yoga in Romania. So she came in a neighboring country in Bulgaria. So we experienced something similar when the first program was in a hall in a university, not an amphitheater, was a real hall, but wasn't obviously big enough for the crowd. And probably the same number of people who are inside was outside. So Shimataji have to tell them that next day she will have an unscheduled program on a stadium to be able to to accommodate everybody. So next day we have again an unscheduled program on a was a small stadium, but obviously bigger than a hall. So everybody was there. And after Shimataji finish the program on the stadium, start a heavy rain, which she actually stopped it during the program because the rain and the
Wow.
wind start blowing during Shimataji's presentation and Shimataji's
Wow.
talking and realization, and she stopped it, said not now, and everything stopped. And after Shimataji finish, zoom, boom, soak.
Wow. Stunning.
Just
Stunning.
yes, I told you that we are talking, but the dialogue will be. We know where we started, we don't know where we finish. So coming back to Argentina and Brazil, obviously those countries are very close together when it's coming to Sahaja Yoga. But
Yes.
the Sahaja Yoga in Argentina looks like it's not as we're talking about numbers. I know the numbers are not uh, very important, but sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, it's always, I can tell you there are like between 60, okay, and 70 Sahaja yogis all scattered around Argentina. The thing is, Argentina is only 40 million people population. In
Comparing
Brazil is
with Brazil,
240.
yeah, it's very small.
So exactly. There is a similar, you can say, rate if you want to analyze it. But again,
No, no, no. I won't go there. We experience the same in New Zealand, so there are few other countries with, but again, not all the time the number it's important. But
they're very similar. They're very similar in culture. Okay, people is very open-hearted, so it's very easy to talk to them about meditations. But of course, in Latin America, there are other mayas like with the Navi and all the things. So yeah. But again, people is it's always receiving very well Sahaja Yoga. But again, I mean, it is easier than other countries that you can say to talk and people welcome it. But again, you just have to give realization and in a detached form, right? In a detached way.
the Catholic feelings play a role or not? Because the
No.
Brazilian the Brazilian are Catholics as well.
Well, maybe in Brazil it's a little bit stronger. Here in Argentina, for me, the way maybe the way I see it, I'm no you can say like sociologist or anything, but
Yeah.
uh, the Catholic influence and everything is for people that are like it's very strong people that are like 50, 60. It's not something that at least people from my age that I see that they are taking it because they see that they can find it. For at least for the people that I know from my age, okay, it's very difficult for them to. Of course, when somebody search for spirituality in the West, you go to the church. You don't have much options, right?
Yeah.
Um, that so that's why many people are. I feel that are just still going to the Christianism and such. But again, here is not such a you can say many people are following or very strong with an influence like in other countries.
Um, Obviously, the links in Sahaja Yoga between Argentina and Brazil are quite strong because I saw you the choice for the organizers for Mahashivaratri to have you and your brother being involved in the protocol was um, not just a friendly gesture. For me, first of all, initially, I don't know you guys are Argentinians. Um, and to my surprise, I find you are Argentinian, and probably next day I find that the other guy was Argentinian as well, and more than that was your brother. I mean, it's a family business. No, just joking, but from the uh, for the organizer to do that, tell me something. Tell me that they want you to be involved in that protocol.
To be honest, I was eating picoletos, some nice ice cream with some yogis, okay? And a yogi from, from Brazil came. We need two people to help us during the push-up. Can you help us? Sure, whatever you need, And then when we were there, it's like, okay, you go and you do it. So it was pretty much spontaneous,
Wow.
and I didn't know if they wanted. I don't know, just to
Yeah.
it could be whatever, it could be just moving the instruments or doing the push-ups. So I said to the uncle, okay, yes, whatever you need, we will help. So
Wow.
yeah, and the
Even,
connection between Argentina and Brazil is very strong. Actually, my wife is Brazilian, and my
okay.
other brother's wife is from Brazil, so it's very
Okay, so yeah, the link is even stronger. Yes, I meet your wife, Paula. So yeah, I didn't know that she's Brazilian. Okay, uh, slowly, I find more, more and more stuff.
tying the knots.
Yes, very slowly. Yeah. Um, how is the actual state of Sahaja Yoga in Argentina, Wadi?
So in Argentina now we are. I think the same happened in all the countries. We are going through a phase of people coming back from uh, work from being remote, okay, to the presence to be present in a place, okay. So uh, we're struggling with the Maya of people. We had an online meditation, then that was during the COVID, okay? And then people would just stay there. It's useful for people that live really, really far away where they do not have a center. We keep it for that reason. But again, for people that just been here, the Sahaja Yoga is not something you can, in order to grow in Sahaja, you need to be with the collective. You have to be very collective. So we are giving public programs. We're gonna give like music of choice. We have very very good musicians here as well. But again, we are in that phase where people are just it's taking a lot of effort for them to go to a place and to meditate and to go to come back to presentiality. Right. That's where we are.
Yeah. Um, there are also two things I want to talk with you. One is the impressions about not the tour because you haven't been in the tour, but about the seminar here. For me, also I have few high point. One was the puja. I talk about that a little bit, and another one was meeting few people, very deep and interesting people is not the best adjective I can use it, but it's somewhere there, like Eduardo and Duilio and Nazareno. Uh, so before we talk about your last projects, which I'm very interested to hear about. I want to ask you about a few things about the seminar. When I said the seminar, I involve everything from the first day of the seminar with Eduardo presentation, if you remember, which for me was a highlight
Yeah.
if you've been there, and
Yes.
until the end, which probably after the puja, everything you cannot go higher than that. So what's your memories about those events? For me,
I mean,
talking about those give me a huge, I don't know, let's say pleasure is.
yeah, for sure. I mean, so one thing about so when a Shivaratri, you are invited to sit on your father's lap, no, in the Shivaratri. And what I like about each seminar in Brazil, they are totally different. Last year there was like weddings, or I celebrate my Sahaj wedding. It was wellness with Dr. Sushata and Duilio and everything. And it was the Shivaratri Puja. And this year was amazing with the realization tour where they visit 34 countries and amazing artists from all over the world. Okay. And on top
Hold
of
on,
that, we have,
hold on a second,
yes.
because you give me another piece of information who shocked me. You told that you celebrate your wedding last year?
Yeah, in Brazil they do remarriages. Okay, I got matched in like 3 years ago in 2022. Okay, we got married at the same, let's say, that same time legally. Okay, but we wanted to celebrate also this Ash wedding with the yogis. Okay, and because of COVID and things, they were not organizing it on Brazil. But last year they organized the wedding. There were 5 weddings, and it was very nice to share it also with our Brazilian brothers. And on top of that, we have the wellness. So and the pusha. So it was. I have no words. I have no words. So that's what I like about the Shivadi. Every year is different. This year, the musicians and the level was stunning. They're really really reaches. You've been there, you know how it is, and people already know Shakti Das and Kingan and all these amazing musicians and performance that was stunning. But on top of that, we have people like Eduardo. And when you say, I understand when you say interesting people. What I see is I see um, when I listen to Eduardo or to Duilio or to I don't know Francisco, people that they've been there. They already had a journey, okay, and there is a lot of wisdom in what they share, okay, and they do it in a very loving way. In the case of Eduardo, Eduardo is a teacher, okay, so he explains very very well, and he gave this beautiful presentation about Patanjali Yoga, about he was the first one writing about Sahaja, about yoga and what yoga means, like yoga vritti chitta nirodh, and every single word, the stop of the movements of the attention, and how God is attention, and how all those 8 steps that you do in Patanjali Yoga, you can do it in Sahaja Yoga. And that's why when they asked Tushimatashi about it, this is like Shet Yoga. You can have it all the steps at once. You can have your realization. It was so well explained that even me, I could understand it. I can remember it, even though it was like so it is standing. It's standing because also with such a simple um, you can see also the deepness when people explain something so complex in such a simple way, like also like Shimata does in her speeches. So that was stunning. And the Pusha again for me is silence. Shivaratri Pusha is, I will put my attention there and it's difficult to speak, right?
That's the point. That's exactly the point. I mean, I don't know how to put it, but the role of the pujari, not the pujari, but the one who lead the protocol, is to make sure that is not too much talking, not too much action, although some action have to be done. I mean, Amruta is not done by itself, is done by us as a form of worship. But after that, make sure that you reach that point of silence, which was fantastic because we start with a lot of action going a little bit on the not less but steady action with Amruta. I was fortunate enough to be there representing my country. Was another peak of my journey. And after that, going with Sri Shiva Puja in the complete silence and doing less and less as actions. So from that perspective, also the pujari have a big role, and everybody who can watch that puja can see that. Coming back to Eduardo presentation, that for me should be like a school course. that's good not only for Sahaja Yogi, it's good for non-Sahaja Yogi. That's a very good presentation of Sahaja Yoga for people who knows a little bit about the classical yoga or don't know nothing, because it's very well presented. So
Yeah,
if I have a power, I use that presentation as a course in a school, in a high school or whatever, for I don't know, some religion or spirituality courses. Was quite good. So
it was really nice. And also the fact when also at the same time what he was explaining, uh, the time that of course words don't mean anything. I mean, this is beyond words and it's your own experience, right? So it has the full, there was, and even by saying that, there is no like ambiguity, okay? Neither on the message and neither on both messages. There is no ambiguity because uh, at the end it's all about that point, that deepness, that silence. And maybe I don't know, maybe you can share it in the link of the description of this video. But again, it is very very beautifully explained how what yoga is, okay, from a perspective of, okay, yoga is been everywhere, everybody's like yoga this, yoga that, okay, and we know that is the union, the connection, but who was the first one? Because before that, uncle was explaining that they were not writing it. There was like a like secret knowledge, and only for people that they were doing their tapasya and they talk about yoga. But Patanjali was the one of the first one on writing it, right? So it is quite interesting. It's quite interesting.
yeah, he have this quality. Also, he's a teacher, and I have the the chance. He's a professor. I have the joy to read his book now, and I very much hope that I will. When he gave me the book, at some stage he told me. So after he gave me the book, he told me that he hoped that I will let him know about what how I find the book. So I'm nearly
It's a very
finished.
stunning book. It is a very stunning book. Shimata, she just said that whatever is in this book, this is the truth, and probably
Yes.
he told you about the story, right? And maybe people listening to this, maybe they can find, maybe you can put in the description. I know that it is in English in maybe to download in Amazon, or maybe you can get it from Lulu, and maybe I
No,
can
you
give the
can.
link so people just,
No, you can
there
get
is
it.
not this.
No, you can get it anywhere. So that's a very sad thing, because I
Well,
want
people will
to.
have to come to the Shivaratri. Probably
Probably I don't know how
we
many
expect
copies.
everybody.
I don't know how many copies he have, because I was too embarrassed to ask for another one. He gave me that copy. Uh, as a present. I want to pay, and he said, pay to Sahaja Yoga whatever you wanted. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I was too embarrassed to ask for another copy. I don't know how many he have, but I'm so sad, because I want to buy at least one or two to send to my friends, and I cannot find it. Again, this book can be um, a course in at least
Yeah,
in a high school somewhere on
yeah, and we can
spirituality.
tell about for the people that are listening, what is this book about? It's called About Science and Spirituality,
Yes.
right? And they say very beautiful things about the uh, how physics and how everything is not left to any chance, okay, and how the conditions for human life even to exist, there is not a random thing, and you can see reading this book is pretty obvious, you know, the hand of God. But again, at the end, we have free will, and everybody can decide, no? But the way he explains about uh, all the physical aspect from uh, Pythagoras to Maxwell to everything, and their relationship with spirituality, okay? Because at the end, everything is in the search of truth, and and at the end, everything is part of the same thing, no? So how sometimes science and the spirituality, people see it like separate things, but they are not. They are not, and they complement each other. Okay. And anyway, just wanted to mention that because if people is listening to that, the book is called Science and Spirituality. Let me see if I have this. It's called, I have it here. It's called Science, A Way to Spirituality. Okay, from Eduardo Marino. Okay, so anyway, it is Uncle Eduardo is a quantum physicist. Okay, so his knowledge about everything related to physics and science is very, very deep. So we will try to find a way for even people that are listening to this, they can get a copy.
Yes, speaking thank you very much for presenting the book. Like I said, we know where we started, we don't know where we ended. So we start with something, but we ended, but we are not ending our conversation yet. But we end one of the direction of our discussion is talking about Eduardo and his book, and I'm very happy that you show it to the people because I have it, but it's in a different room when I read it. I nearly finish it, and reading I take my notes because even if he didn't ask me about my opinion, I want to write to him, but I'm afraid will be not a small letter, but will be an essay because he touched a lot of subjects, and I want to develop.
Maybe, yeah. Probably you can have. It's nice if you can have like a talk about the book, about the aspects, and maybe you just can have an interview with him, so everybody listening to it or that do not have the chance to buy it, at least to know the beautiful things that are there.
More than that, I feel that my interview with him is very weak from that perspective because we talk a lot about a lot of things, but not too much about the book and the specific of the books. So now maybe you will help me with his number because I want to.
For sure.
I really want to develop a little bit more about that, and I know he's give a lot of interviews, but all the interviews are different. No one touched the whole stuff, so maybe
It's very nice, yeah.
yeah. Wadi,
So something else,
yes.
yes.
You told me that you are involved in a project about AI.
Exactly.
AI, it's a very modern subject. It's a very up-to-date subject. Everybody talk about AI. AI will kill us, or AI will help us. We cannot do it without AI, or AI, it's evil. So between those extremes, we can have a conversation about AI and your interest in that and applicability in Sahaja Yoga, obviously.
So, I mean, I will just give my what I believe from a hash point perspective is interesting. Of course, AI helps to do many tasks, but again, in the end, it's artificial intelligence. We know how Shimata put, for example, the arts in a very, very high place, and at the end, and she gave us the awareness to feel what is suspicious or not. Okay, and we know that all these things that are artificial, they are not, do not sit at the same level. Okay, so on a spiritual level, I mean, Shimata, she always encouraged always to do artistic things, to things with our hands, and she even talks about this like many, many years before AI. And one thing that I can tell you is the consequences of having AI today. It is something new. It's something everybody wants to try. It could be helpful, but it is causing also a lot of problems with the learning of the people, of the younger people. So at the end, we need to ask why. What will be the gain of humanity with AI? A couple of companies being rich, or I don't know, solving cancer, for example, or I don't know, yeah, having more jobs. So at the end, I understand that it's a powerful tool, but again, for me, I will invite everybody listening. Well, what is the gain of this? Okay, yes, some companies they can save cost, they can optimize process, but again, for me, the main goal is why. Why is it important? I don't know. I'm in IT. I use AI for my job, uh, but again, what is the end game? Okay, so that being said, I know that Shimati talked many times the importance about us doing things with our hands, about the art, about expressing, and she gave us the awareness to see what is suspicious or not. Okay, and yeah, I just wanted to say that. I don't know if you want to add something else, Daniel, but I mean, regarding AI is something far away from spirituality, far away from inner knowledge, far away from gaining a perception of yourself, and instead of giving it to a computer. But again, for me, if you use it, you can use it for something to search things in a very, very optimal way. You can use it in a way to help you, I don't know, discover new cures or medicine. But yeah, I mean, I invite everybody to see what is the aim, what is the gain, or I don't know, maybe spending so much energy around the world on doing memes, you know.
Yeah, I suppose it's my turn to say something about. Uh, surprise, surprise. Um, I place this subject in the larger subject of editing.
Editing, okay,
Yes. Or using anything else than your hands of altering something, and even the hands are, yeah, sometimes not good, especially when I'm talking about the things related with Shimataji. So
perfect. And
uh,
that is a very, very important topic,
yes,
because today we people, I mean, we know that we have our vibratory awareness, okay, or connection, which is the truth, okay, and some of the things that people may see today is things being altered with AI, speeches or videos being altered with AI. There are protocols that we know with Shimatashi's picture that we need to respect, you know, to keep it auspicious. Okay, so altering things with AI, and it's not something very auspicious. At the same time, there are yogis working at the moment in tools and things to help the collective to identify if there are original audios or original pictures or original videos. Okay, that is something that is part of the preservation project, which is part of NIPC. That is a corporation that Shimatashi herself wanted to establish that safeguards all the talks of Shimatashi, and with the mission of keeping her message in the purest form as possible. And part of that, you have the preservation project with the team in Austria, where they have all the video cassettes that are stored in very, very specific
conditions.
let's say conditions, yes, conditions with air and humidity and everything, and they are digitizing all that content, and that work has been going for the last 30-20 years, and it is very important. It's very important part to preserve Shimatachi's message. From here, you can ask yourself how will be the message of Shimatachi preserved in a way from here in, I don't know, in 500 years, in 1,000 years. Okay, so there is the preservation project that they just digitize the cassette of Shimatashi, the work. Sometimes for a push there are 4 cameras consolidated in one video. Then there is a team that do the transcript and translations in all the languages possible, and they upload it to the Amruta.Our website and in the apps, the Nimalavidia apps. And then there is people that are working on printing Shimatashi's transcript into books. Okay, it's in a specific type of paper that can last for 1,000 years. Okay, and then IPC has this role also to protect the misuse of Shimatashi's talk. There is people that they want to charge of it, they want to get money out of that, and we know that that's not something that Shimatashi wanted to make money out of her speech. It should be available for everybody. Okay, so I've been working with this project for the last, I don't know, 12 years. And I invite everybody to go to Amruta, to download the Malavidya app, to help please with donations, because these are the kinds, in Sahaja Yoga, you have like some kind of work that is very visual, like, for example, people doing tours, or people doing a music program and giving realizations, or working in the castle. And then you have this type of work that is far away, it's very silent, but there are hundreds of people working this project, that they have even people giving up their work to work doing this. Okay, and it's very important. And at the moment, that it's very important for everybody to have in their attention. Okay, and to protect the Shimatashi's legacy, and to help with the project.
Very interesting topic indeed, Wadi. And I'm very happy I'm talking with you, because maybe you will help me a little bit of contact with people from Amruta. You are an insider, so I have connections now. We used to listen to all Shimataji's talks. I have a personal project of listening to all Shimataji's talk. Obviously, won't be possible, because my life is limited, and all the time, when I go back, some other talks are uploaded. So, but I still doing. So I listened every day, at least 20-30 minutes. Continuous. I mean, listening one talk after the other, no matter the language. Only the talks. So there are sometime musical program or other people presentation. I dare to skip those one. I go only for Shimataji's talk. Again, my life is limited, and go is in the last leg. So and sometimes I find little inadvertencies or so. I write to a guy called Daher, sorry, Daher. And not always what I told him, he get it. So sometime I give up. Only yesterday I find something. I was listening to a tape from 91, and on the tape was a date, 1.1/1984. So I was, how come on the tape it's 1984, but on the Amruta it's from 1991, March. So I want to write him, but again, not all the time.
I mean, I can let you know, he's actually my brother. He's the one from, that's why I'm here in Sahaj. So, and he's helping, he works a lot in the Argentinian project. Sometimes we have, and I can give you a little bit of context. Sometimes the people of TV production, somebody comes and say they give him like a box of things, okay, and they just get the dust out of it, and they have like a date written on the let's say on the tape.
Yes.
And there is and they say, no, this was recorded, but it was using the date of the recorder, and the recorder was not. So they have to do all this detective stuff just to put it there, and they need to cross-reference with the Yoghi that was there. So, but again, all the input that you have to say, okay, I remember being there, and it happened in this year, and so on. So you can write to help at Amruta.org, okay, and people will get it, and that this is very important, because Shimatashi always says that Yoghi should have a journal, okay, yes, but we could not find somebody with accurate dates, so we can have. all the events, all the events and cross check. Sometimes there are uncles that they were like, I remember it was this date, and others when I remember it was this date, and people that are not here anymore in Sahaj or even live. So it is a very, very active work. Okay, so please reach out through Amruta if you find something, uh, and we can and the team will work for that. There are, just to give you an idea of it, there are like 3,600 events. Okay, and from each event they have like 4 or 5 videos. They can be evening programs, and they have things. Uh, there's a lot of work on the transcript, on the translation.
I
So there's
know.
a lot of information there, and
Yeah.
some things is not accurate. The other thing is at the point is because I was part of this project from many years ago, uh, for the last year. So basically, they were in a dilemma of, okay, we need to have all this perfect, okay, and just then once we have it perfect, we make it available, or we just make it available now, because having it perfect, it will take us years to have it perfect,
Yeah.
all the transcript, all the translation. So that's why you may see, okay, this is uh, this may be accurate or not. This is what we have, and then we're trying to find out as
No, it's a very good
time
approach,
goes
and
by.
I fully support it. Better put something close to perfection now just to have something. If it's nothing outrageous wrong, uh, put
Exactly,
put it
exactly,
there.
exactly. I
So
mean,
those are small stuff. So I try not to be picky, but if I find something, I said, okay, let's address it.
you have
So
there
uh,
are only there are only a handful of people just working daily with that. So
I
if you find
know.
something, it help us,
Yeah,
just to say, okay, this is wrong. They just go, they can change it, and,
yeah,
and and that's it. So if everybody is to the people that are listening to this, if you find something in the app or you find something
yeah.
in Amruta that you think is not accurate, please write this down and tell us, look, this event, I think it was at this place or at this date. That would be very, very helpful.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm very glad that you are involved in that project, and I'm very happy that I find someone to talk about. But let's go back to our little discussion, which was, from my perspective, more interesting, about altering Shimataji's pictures and being. I'm sure people who are doing that have good intentions. My only problem is some of them. I don't want to generalize because I don't know them. And anyway, sometimes I believe it's a little bit of lack of attention, or a little bit of lack of wisdom or depth, because you
Yes.
cannot
Yeah.
play with Shimataji's pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those guys, with all the respect and with all the diplomacy, have to be told when you find something like that. So, Shimataji's pictures are okay to be like that, and even are okay to be like that in a
Yeah.
flyer. But everything else, if you put Shimataji's face on a different pictures, replacing a deity, for example, there are this
Yeah.
kind of
Exactly.
little stuff. I
So
find them too much, and lack, at least lack of respect. I mean, we have to be very
I
careful.
understand. Yeah, we have to be very careful. So if you are listening to this, or you find somebody is not following this divine protocol, okay, there are guidelines that we did what we can do. I mean, at least from the from the preservation point of view, we have guidelines on how to use internet for what would be like the best way to follow the protocol when you use internet. Just opening like a Facebook page and announcing this, announcing that. There are maryadas, okay, and as well there are people that is new to Sahaj, that they just come and they just feel this this impulse to do it. And I mean, again, we are here to with all the fatherly or motherly love to guide them and to tell them, look, I believe that this is not the way, but at the end, it is, it is their journey, right? So we part where we talk about the protocol of please do not modify Shimatoshi's picture, even the audio, the process with the audios and the videos and the noises that are there of playing and everything. Shimatoshi gives instructions. Everything should remain as pure as it is in that point. So if you listen to this and you feel that somebody, I mean, you just want to reach out to him and say, look, we believe that this is not the best way. And at the same time, to understand that we do it with a very loving way, in a fatherly or motherly way. Again, so they realize and they can grow as well. Okay.
You know, why I'm smiling is because when you when you talk about the noises in the tape, there are some tapes with really annoying background noises. All the time, a dog decided to bark for 10 minutes in a row. A child in the back, and you said, "Oh, Shimataji, why you don't tell this woman?" Sometimes she said, but not all the time. So I believe all this kind of stuff are there with some purpose. I mean, nothing
We
whatsoever.
can work out our patience.
Exactly, nothing whatsoever is there accidentally. Even the dog who bark, even the child who cry and obviously all the noises from the street or all the horns from the street are much louder than Shimataji, and looks like are exactly there in the room. They are in the street 200 meters away, and are very very loud. Those are, I'm sure, there are lessons for us. So yeah, you are
Totally,
right.
totally,
Nothing
totally.
nothing have to be. And you said something very interesting. That's why I love to talk with you. You said you introduced a very interesting concept, the maryadas. Usually, when we are talking about maryadas, we are very limited in describing maryadas, which probably 95% of the people think about. Okay, it's not okay to hold a hand of one of your sister when you go in town. Obviously, that's a part of the Mariadas, but Mariadas is much more having inside of it, including this protocol. So Mariadas with the deity, it's much important between comparing with Mariadas between us. So a very interesting point. When
It
when
is,
we
and
are
it is. I
doing
mean,
that, we are not following Mariadas. You are perfectly right.
there are. I mean, I don't know if somebody is listening to this and if heard about Mariadas for the first time. Is this the limits that allow us to stay in the right path, right, in the Dharma? Okay,
Yes.
so that is a Mariada. So there is a way I can address to a friend, to a boss, to a daughter, and to my brothers. Okay, there is a way. There is a way that is loving, that is respectful. Okay, and that same thing applies to everything that we do. There are things that we do that may not be auspicious. What is auspicious? Something that we know that will help us grow in our path. Okay, and there are things that modifying Shimatoshi's picture. We know that it is very sacred for us. Even though that you may think that this is the best uh, AI feature or whatever, it's not auspicious. It's not auspicious, and you can check it also with your vibratory awareness. So yeah, Mariadas are everywhere. I understand because Shimatoshi speaks very much about Mariadas in the West. That is something that is very uh, between the relationship between brothers and sisters that are very disrespected, we can say. So, but I understand the maryadas are everywhere, are part of, and of course, this protocol, no, that we have to have on internet. Whenever we put say shimatashi or things that most of the people on the internet, they do not know what is shimatashi, they do not understand about Sahaja Yoga. So anyway, we have to behave in a way that we are respectful to them as well, right? To people that are not yet have the realization, yet do not know shimatashi. So yeah.
I'm very, very glad that we touched that subject, and hopefully people are watching and maybe think twice sometimes about their actions. You didn't tell me exactly how you are involved in that project. You are basically, there are few people obviously who are uh, doing that work. The
Yeah, basically, that's a very good question. NIPC has like many parts. Okay, they have the preservation project that is happening mainly in Vienna, in Austria.
Yes.
There are yogis working with the tapes physically just to digitizing them. That they grab, like, for example, 5 tapes of a pusha that suddenly somebody found and they give it to them. They just have, with a very specific machines, digitizing them, putting all those 4 videos into one so you can see that only one in Amruta. That is the preservation part.
Yes.
Then you have the
How
the
many
part
people
of
are working on the preservation?
free full time, free for people.
Wow.
I think so, and that's regarding the preservation. Then you
Yeah.
have how do we make those dogs available to everybody? So there is uh, me and my brothers are working the Nirmala Vidya app that was launched. The new version was launched lately, so we are people from Argentina, and yeah, and there is also Radek from Poland helping and maintaining all the Amruta website.
Yeah, I
Okay,
write to Radek
and then
once,
Radek.
but he told me that now better to write to the hair. So I was.
Radek, if you're listening to this, I want to listen to your interview with Uncle Daniel. So
Yeah,
now Radek is somebody who's
yeah,
working is working a lot.
Radoslav. I write to Radoslav
Radoslav Oskar.
as well last time in 2020, but after that he probably told me that to write to Daher. I don't know how the
Exactly.
things happens. Uh,
So basically, we're working together very close, and Radek is also you can say, I mean, maintaining also the website of Amruta and work with the transcript team. And then there are hundreds of people. We have I don't know,
Translators,
like translators and people that do transcripts,
transcript. Yes.
um, and all being coordinated by people from, you can say, Nirmala Vida project that is that is there that you mentioned. So, and that is a lot of work going on behind the scenes. Okay, so basically, I help with the technical side of the coding and such. My brothers help as well, and also with the organizational side, and yeah, and that's how I got involved in the project. I mean, I did the previous Nirmala Vidya app like many years ago. I don't know, it was 2012. I don't remember the Android app and the iOS app, and yeah, I helped with the technical side and trying to help with the process and helping with the people with putting things online and such.
Daher wasn't the one in the camp, no,
He was there as well. Okay.
but not with you at the puja.
Yeah, he actually, the other person that came, the other person that came to the stage with me. The
Yes,
first one was my eldest brother Shamil, and the other
yes.
one was my brother there. So they both were there.
Ah, so both of them were there.
Yeah. They don't look
Okay.
like me because they have this Lebanese descendancy and they look nothing like me. They have dark skin, Uh, so yeah,
And they have and they have more hair, if I may.
exactly, for sure. They have more hair for sure.
I have a good friend. We are talking about that and laughing. So sorry, I laugh with you about that stuff because usually when I talk with him, I said how my hair is looking, and he asked me the same. So,
No,
uh,
it's okay.
um, you said early something as well, very interesting regarding the transcript and the printing of the transcripts. I tell you what,
Yes,
uh, apart from listening to Shimataji's talks, I print the transcript to make sure that when you listen, sometime your attention is not perfect. So to
exactly.
understand better a talk of Shimataji, in my view, you have to read it. There are two different experiences. Sometimes
Exactly.
when you listen, you don't listen. You are just in meditation. That's why I said, uh, okay, it's good to have the talk for a meditation. Definitely for the puja. For the puja is more like a protocol action. When you put Shimataji's talk, you invite Shimataji to talk with us. When you put a talk, when you have a meditation, for me, sometimes you can do it, sometimes you cannot do it. It's not like a must. Nowadays, become a must, which I don't know. From my perspective, I don't like musts. So it's good to be flexible. Sometimes you put a talk, sometimes you don't put. I'm talking about meditation.
Yeah.
Because when you meditate and want to listen, obviously you are not in meditation. You listen to Shimataji's talk. And after that, you said, you remember what Shimataji said? No, I don't remember because I was in meditation. But sometime you, anyway, um, and I print, I print the talk. I'm much behind with reading. I mean, 84 with reading. With listening, I mean, 91. Delia is in 92 and we have a competition. I want to catch up with her, but looks like it's not possible. Uh, you said something about printing those transcripts on a special paper.
Yes, it is a
From my
special paper, yeah.
perspective, I want there to ask for the special paper. I want just to know if those transcripts will be available, like those volumes of memories. Probably the big
Yeah,
project.
yeah,
It's
they are like
interesting.
they're
It's very interesting that one, but for me, it's more interesting Shimataji's uh, transcripts books. So can you tell us something about?
I mean, I can tell you what I know. And I mean, this project it was mainly driven by Uncle Eric from Switzerland and Uncle Heino from Holland. Okay, and what I know, they did a lot of work on the, I think it was Ganesha Pushas at the beginning, and the thing is that this amazing that I don't know, like 28 volumes with the talks, and the thing is they sold out. They were sold in I think in Capella. Okay, I think you can order them. I can find out, and we got a copy at the center here in Argentina, in the ashram, which is very nice. But also, as you said, reading a talk is different,
Yeah,
and also the quality of the paper and the transcript is different. Okay, so I can get you a little bit more of information, and maybe you can post it on the link. And if anybody has this opportunity, I think that every collective at least should be able to have these volumes in their collection. Okay.
absolutely, absolutely. Even the private person like me, I will be
For
interested. I don't
sure,
know if
for
I can
sure, for
afford
sure.
because 28 volumes I'm sure will be a little bit there, but slowly, slowly. uh,
I mean, the problem is the shipping, because they are really like free boxes of books. Okay,
I know.
but again, I mean, it is in a very, the thing as well is in a very special paper that they can it is it's done. It lasts thousands of years. It's amazing, the quality. But again, if you have the chance, and for people who have the chance, maybe all in your collective, you can gather and I don't know, raise the money and get it for the collective
Yeah,
in
I
New
will talk
Zealand.
with
I
the
don't know.
people, yeah, from New Zealand about that. So every you are right, every collective have to have it. But I still have a question. The work is not finished because, first of all the time new
Exactly.
transcripts are ready. Like you said before, not all the transcripts are 100% finished. Sometimes you have a note there who said the transcript, like you said, we put it here, is not twice checked. We prefer to put it and after that recheck it. So on those volumes, 28 you said, are all the talks available now on Amruta or just the one who you I mean there, because I suppose it's a team there who decided.
Exactly. They're on
Right?
Amruta. They're on
Yes.
Amruta. Okay. Nevertheless, one thing that happens, because there are like a lot of people working on this, but a lot of people. Um, there are things that in the books uh, are they go through a very strict process of reviewing the transcript. Okay. But at the same time, on Amruta, there are parts of the same talks that some, I don't know, an extra 5 minutes that appear. So there may be like, you can say like, they may not be very well synchronized in very small stuff. Okay. But again, that is another project we are working on how to sync all of that. The thing is that takes a lot of manual work, and not even with the whole AI in the wall, I can assure you, this is so important. You cannot give it to the AI and say, look, check this. Also, there are guidelines of how to translate. And again, maybe I can put you in touch with some of the uncles working that project that is very, very interesting, and they can tell you a little bit about it. But again, at the end, the truth is we try to be as careful as we can, because the moment we put something online, especially in the apps and in Amruta, that becomes the truth. That becomes the truth. So, but we ask for everybody to have, of course, the discretion to say, okay, some things are in languages that are not even readable for the people doing it, like in Japanese, like in Chinese. Always use your discretion. Even in Amruta, you can see the status of the talk, if it is a draft or if it is reviewed twice. So you can say, okay, this talk is in a draft state, so maybe the transcript is not ideal. So please always come back to your discretion on this.
You know, those information I get it now make me a little bit more confused. The more I want the transcript, the more I realize that I want the final version, which make me again confused, because if I have to wait for the final version, will be never, because all the time a Hindi talk will be translated and transcripted. So probably that's happened many years from now. So I don't even hope to live that much. On the other hand, if I'm waiting for the, I deprive myself of having something, at least something. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Anyway, it's a very good thing that this
So something
initiative.
like something I can tell you, and if you're listening to this and you understand English, I mean the English the transcripts, okay, the English transcripts, I think they are like 90% of them, they are double checked, they have very good quality. Okay,
Yes.
so at least you can have that. But
Yeah.
we have only one or two people from Romania helping a lot on the translations of those transcripts. So not all the talks may have that. So
Who's
if
that?
you have an
Who's that?
I don't know her name. It's a lovely auntie from Romania that
Oh,
is
okay.
helping a lot. And my brother told me, look, this auntie is great. She's doing a lot of translation.
Yeah.
And she went to the Shivaratri the year before.
Okay. Interesting.
So it was very nice meeting her. So again, there are things that they take a little bit more of time. But again, I always use your discretion. And yeah.
Speaking about the Romanian and this kind of project, I want to ask you if you know or if you have cooperation with Adi Vasiu from America. Um, you know him.
Not I heard very nice things about him. I know that he's working on a lot uh, of these things on preserving Shimatashi stocks and everything, but I never had the pleasure to work with him. No.
He have an alternative website. Uh, I was talking with him, and definitely he didn't want to replace Amruta. So he's 100% uh, sure that he have a complementary task. He have to put everything there, which is another very interesting approach. He's a mathematician. Anyway, very smart guy, very organized, Princeton, and he want to put everything on the transcript. Every laughing, every coughing, every sound, again, he want to put it there. So it's worth it to look at his website, and
For sure.
it's a bit not unfriendly, but difficult to access. I mean, Amruta, it's easy, boom, boom. To access his database, which is huge, it's a bit complicated. But why I bring that in the discussion is the fact that this guy get the realization also in the beginning of Sahaja Yoga, but he's not from Bucharest. Uh, Together with his mother, who also was a university professor in mathematics, live in probably the second biggest city in Romania. And I was part of the group who goes to give the realization to the people in his city. They get the realization before. They didn't get the realization from us. Actually, they was hosting us in their city. Cluj is the name of the city. And the reason I tell you that story is we have a fantastic experience there, and not only there, in all the part of the country was Transylvania, this part of the country. When we've been in a kind of spontaneous tour, we were new in Sahaja Yoga and full of enthusiasm to spread Sahaja Yoga not only in Bucharest but in the country. And we meet them, we get together very well. And this guy give the realization in 1993, I believe, to Eduardo.
No way.
Yes, in Princeton.
Wait.
So
Oh, yes,
when
yes.
Eduardo told me, so you can imagine my
So
surprise.
wait, Adrian Basu gave realization to
Eduardo.
Eduardo.
Yes.
Oh, and I saw him in
When
Cabela last
Eduardo
year.
was visiting professor, it's on the back of the book.
Ah, my
On the book, if you
goodness.
read the last
I'm
cover,
reading that.
he said that he was visiting professor in Princeton in 1993.
Wow. And I met him in Cabela. I didn't know that was Adrian.
Yes, yeah,
That is so nice.
yes.
Uncle Eduardo
So
always speaks very highly about him.
yes, the circle is full. I was talking with him, but he's very busy. I cannot have an interview with Adivasyu. I can have interview with everybody except Adivasyu. So he's very busy, and I believe him. He's a professor as well. He's a teacher and researching and stuff and doing on that website of him. He have a task of uploading every day one or two stuff. And the team, it's just him and another person, or maximum three people, two or three people, and the task is it's huge. Anyway, yeah, I was quite amazed about this story and the circle being complete. I told to Eduardo that, but I
How
want
we
to
are all connected.
tell you as well. Very interesting. In the end, our world is not very big. Actually, Sahaja Yoga,
It's not. It's
no,
Sahaja
we
Yoga, it's not.
always find someone to know. My dear friend,
Okay.
very happy to,
It
to
was a
talk
pleasure.
to talk with you. Very, very happy to talk with you. We managed to stay a little bit more than the 40 minutes you plan to plan it to
It's
have.
okay.
But
It was fun. It was very nice.
at least we exhaust nearly all the subject. But I'm sure something else will come in my mind sometimes. And if you agree, we will meet some other time.
For sure, for sure. And thank you, everybody. If you listen to this so far, thank you. Thank you so much. And if you didn't have your self-realization or you're wondering about Sahaja Yoga, please go to sahajayoga.org, okay? And there are Sahaja Yoga is in 100 countries, okay? And there is people waiting there to give you your self-realizations, okay? So please, or you can go to We Meditate and you can get your self-realization right now, okay? So if you're listening to this and you do not have the full context of what we're speaking, please, we invite you with a very open heart to come and have your self-realization. And thank you, Daniel, again for having me. And my love to your wife. Okay.
Was again a big pleasure talking with you and touching all those subjects. I'm sure there are another hundred of subjects we can talk about. So uh, if I if I think of something, I will definitely ring you. But I will ring you with that excuse anyway.
Okay.
Jai
Thank you,
Mataji,
everybody.
and thank you
Thank
very
you.
much
Thank you,
for
Matas.
people who
Thank you, Daniel.
are listening to us and follow Wadi's invitation if you are not a Sahaja Yogi. Jai Mataji.
Thank you.